Ladies and gentlemen, how's it going? Once again, I'm Nev from Nev's Tech Bits. Today I want to talk a little bit about video cards and the insane space that we're in. When it comes to obtaining them, Christ, it's harder than it's ever been before. For the first time in like 5 years, I wanted to enter the market and I wanted to purchase a video card. I dared to enter the market to purchase a video card at a reasonable price. Well, if I want anything more than a GTX 1030, I'm SOL. Man, video cards are so popular right now that they're actually releasing a 1010, a GTX 1010. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? This stuff is so slow. It's unbelievably slow. But anyways, I wanted to get a 1050 and just can't get it. Can't get it anymore. Now, I know a Bitcoin is worth a lot. I know all these cryptos are worth a lot. But I also know that I have a second channel where I used to talk about crypto before the Monero forked itself into infinity. And even back then, this is so long ago, even back then, crypto people were not using video cards anymore. They had ASIC miners. They had these miners that were just built to pull off this power. And then USA just left the market altogether. USA had to leave the video card market in Bitcoin mining because it was no longer feasible for people in North America to be mining Bitcoin as it is in China. Man, some of these China guys, they got their game up super high. I mean, like, whoa, crazy powerful. I was hearing about one hydroelectric dam that was privatized that people were coming and going using their Bitcoins. Eventually, they found a better place to get energy for their Bitcoin miners. So sorry, let me just take this back a little bit. Chinese private hydroelectric dam, people would take their ASIC miners. There are these big boxes that all they would do was run calculations, and they would take them and they would get the power from the hydroelectric dam. And with that, like, no one could touch the prices that these guys could pull off because they're getting the stuff, they're getting the hardware super cheap, and they're running it super cheap off the hydroelectric dam. But what's really crazy about Bitcoin mining when it comes to America versus the Chinese is stuff comes out so quickly and so powerfully. Technology comes out so quickly and powerfully that the American market doesn't even know it exists. There's been situations before where cameras were released in China and Americans were like, no way, that's fake. That's totally fake. They could never do it. And there's times when that's been true. But there's also been times when it absolutely is. And when it comes to Bitcoin mining, when all the tech is in China, then the Chinese have the upper hand. So what I'm saying, Chinese have the upper hand when it comes to Bitcoin mining. Most Bitcoin miners in North America shut down before the Monero fork. The reason Monero forked was because the Chinese made an ASIC miner for Monero, and Monero was just supposed to be GPU miners. It wasn't supposed to be this game that could be gamed that hard. And honestly, I don't know anyone mining anymore. Like, I know somebody here and there that have like a little miner system going because they want, but usually, man, if you're not on top of your game, then when it comes to Bitcoin, when it comes to shitcoin, when it comes to all this BS coin, everyone's talking about buying it, not and selling it. They're not mining it. They're buying it and they're selling it and they're not mining it. And the reason why, once again, is because China can do a better job of it. So, bringing us back to video cards, what does this have to do with video cards? What it has to do with video cards is you can't blame Bitcoin mining, shitcoin mining on people buying video cards because nobody's buying them anymore. Nobody's buying them anymore because they can't afford it. They can't keep up with China. And so, like, that was last year. Why are these prices so unbelievably high? Why is this stuff so unattainable? Unobtainium. And the reason why it is so unobtainable is because something's happening in the US. Like, a while ago, some president signed something in to say that imports from China could be so much cheaper for this, that, or the other reason. And they signed this thing that went out of date. So prices of video cards are about to skyrocket within the USA, but within Canada, the prices are still good. So from what I'm seeing, all of a sudden, this is about to happen, and I can't get and I cannot get a 1050 for under like 250 bucks. The price went up at least 75 bucks. Prices are supposed to come down, folks, but they keep going up. they just keep frickin' going up. It's one thing after another when it comes to obtaining a frickin' video card. And I'm getting frickin' sick of it. I'm getting sick of the house of prices in Canada. I'm getting sick of the price of video cards in Canada. I see all of our video cards going to the States from scalpers. I can't stand scalpers, man, when it comes to houses, when it comes to video cards, when it comes to anything. I know brothers got to work, brothers got to eat, brothers got to have a hustle. But after a certain point, it's like, I don't feel the love for them anymore after a certain point. But that's what's going on with video cards. I can't get a frickin' video card, and I don't see why. It seems like there's some kind of market speculation going on. It seems like there's some insider trading going on. And I'm sure we've all heard the story about MSI. MSI was selling its video cards through eBay and cranking, like doubling the MRSP, the manufacturer suggested retail price, just doubling that thing. And when somebody found out that this was actually, when someone found out that this was actually them, this was actually MSI. I gotta be careful. Was that MSI? I'm pretty sure it was MSI. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was MSI that did it. Anyways, it turned out everyone believed that MSI did it because, man, this guy really put this stuff together. One of these guys really put this stuff together. And ultimately turned out it was, and MSI was like, oh, well, this is just the division that we were using, and they weren't supposed to be getting these video cards. Nah. I mean, does anybody trust business anymore? I mean, there's a version of business that has no soul. Business are allowed to be individuals, but these businesses have no soul. They're not really even people. They're just beasts, and the beasts have no soul. And so would they do that? Frick, yeah, they would. You could find people that would do despicable things if they could get away with it any day. And man, sometimes I think about Trump being a leader that was from these businesses. The games he was playing and the way that he was doing things were from business. And I think there's a lot to be said about that. But then again, you got these career politicians that run things like career politicians. So, I shouldn't even touch politics or any of that stuff. But the price of freaking video games got to come down. Or not video games. Yeah, video games too. Man, the price just keeps going up for that stuff. But the price of video cards it's just like, come on, guys. Really? Does it really need to be that expensive? Frickin' something's up. Something's up. Because nobody's buying these things for Bitcoin mining these days. I don't care what you say. Nobody's buying these video cards for Bitcoin mining anymore. And you know how I know that? Most of the place shut down shortly after the ASIC miner hit the Monero. Now, I'm sure you can find outliers here and there, but it is definitely not as bad as it was. We should be past this stuff. We should be long past this, but there's something in the market that's keeping it the way it is. And I guarantee you that we're just not producing them, or something's happening. Something's going on. I can't wait to find out what it is. But that's the situation. Nobody can get video cards. People want video cards so much, it's pulling the price down. And China can make anything it wants, man. I mean, China's okay with cheap and slave labor. There's a bunch of Muslims, the Uyghurs, and their little camps going on over there. It's unfortunate, but China make you disappear. They can make you work. They can make you work. Now, in USA, we have like slave labor stuff. It could be debated. Stamping license plate, for example. There's a lot of places that make money off of prison labor, so therefore prison labor is viable. In Canada, we decided not to go that way. There's a really cool place called Camp Burwash or Camp Bison, and there was a town, ghost town, that just went ghost town overnight because one day the Canadian government was like, you know what, if you're a prisoner and you're working for the government for less than regular money, that is slave labor. So we wouldn't touch that. We wouldn't go anywhere near that. But China goes one step further. And if you don't like your slave labor, you can get sent out back, and you just you won't show up anymore. No one will see you anymore. And that's just how she goes. But that is just how it goes. And with that, we get all of our electronics, all of these great things that we have. The video that I'm making right now comes ultimately, it's made by Chinese labor. And a lot of that Chinese labor comes from like storehouses, manufacturing buildings that have suicide nets. Because not only do they make so little, but they just, they don't want to. They don't want to. That's unfortunate. That's just how it is. We in the North have our slaves. They're just in China. And they're not making video cards as quick as they used to. Or they are. But something sketchy's going on. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's all. That's all. I'm just blowing off steam because I'm just blown away by the price of video cards. The fact that the price is going up. They are so freaking hard to obtain, and they aren't going to Bitcoin miners. Bitcoin miners aren't buying this stuff. They got their ASIC cubes or whatever the heck you call them. Watch this. I've been calling them the wrong damn thing all night. But you know what I'm talking about. You guys, someone out there has bought them in North America. And that's it for me. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, have a good one. Take care of each other.